It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. As gas prices rise and commuting becomes more expensive, bikes are flooding Denver's pathways.
We don't even know what the price of gas is because we put less than 5,000 miles a year on our actual motor vehicle.
But bicyclist safety is still an issue. Moves the city is making to be sure the roads are safe for everyone using them.
Plus, a plot of land has become the centerpiece for heated debate in Denver. We give you a sneak peek of the layouts City Council is considering.
We could be in for some heavy thunderstorms Friday afternoon. Some flash flood watches are in effect.
And Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is making headlines again.
It is extremely unusual that someone like Ms. Peters would be so blatant and so obvious and so reckless.
We break down the newest offenses and talk to legal experts who say that she made it too easy to figure out. Well, another hot day in the Denver Metro. Earlier we had some gray clouds taking over the skies, which actually gives us a preview of what's coming tomorrow. Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Danny New.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Well, let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. So Mike, there's a flash flood watch in the works for tomorrow?
For the mountains and the areas that have been affected by fires, the burn scars for tomorrow. Hot today. Look at the high temperatures across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains. 99 in Denver and Greeley, out to Akron, 106 at Ray and 101 at Fort Collins. Now it's cooled a little bit since that time. Denver's down 20 degrees from the high, and it's still in the mid-80s up around Fort Collins and Greeley, so it's a warm evening for sure. But scattered thunderstorms have developed, and we do have flash flood watches in effect for tomorrow for the burn scar areas from recent wildfires. Storms are dying down in the Denver area, mostly cloudy sky now. Had some gusty winds earlier. We'll have quieter conditions now. This is the view currently from City Park, mostly cloudy. Our forecast overnight tonight, the scattered storms will be ending. It'll be hot again tomorrow, but a better chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Turns a little bit cooler Saturday, but then the heat comes roaring right back on Sunday. Your full 7-day coming up in about 15 minutes.
Thank you, Mike. Well, as inflation continues to bog down on us, the cost of commuting every day isn't really getting much better. The average American is now paying nearly $3,000 a year to commute, which is almost $800 more than last year, forcing us to look into alternatives for traveling, like using a bike or e-bikes. So now, as an influx of new riders come in thanks to that e-bike rebate, the question is, does Denver have the space for everyone to ride safely? Well, there certainly wasn't enough space online. Earlier this week, the city was actually flooded with so much interest in that rebate program that the website crashed.
Whether the city is ready or not, the bicyclists are. Denver 7's Rob Harris looked into the current state of our city's bikeways.
Yeah, so thousands more e-bikes are getting ready to hit Denver streets, in part thanks to the city's rebate program to help residents buy them that Danny mentioned, and in large part thanks to the benefits that they offer. We caught up with David Millis today. He and his wife have been e-biking for years, and it's saved them money in gas. It's brought them closer to each other and to their neighbors. And Millis wants other people to reap these same benefits, but he says the city of Denver needs to quickly add more bikeways so everyone can do so safely.
Our streets need to be available to more than just cars. We've got supply line crises, fuel crises, the planet's on fire, literally in some cases, and some other stuff. So it seems like now would be a good time to accelerate those plans, maybe reprioritize a little bit.
Now, the city of Denver is aware of the problem. It conducted a poll and found that almost 60% said they're interested in traveling by bike, but they're concerned about the safety while doing so. Protected bike lanes from traffic and neighborhood bikeways in particular are suggested for higher safety. So tonight at 10 o'clock on Denver 7, we're looking into the city's 5-year bike infrastructure plan. We're seeing how close it is to reaching its stated goal of 125 new miles of bikeways. Jessica?
Rob, thank you. And also developing tonight, an old closed-down golf course has become the centerpiece for heated debate in Denver.
And as the city continues to move forward in the development process, we're starting to get a clear picture of how they might actually divvy up that land.
Here's Denver 7's CB Cotton.
Today, the developers, who also happen to own this, the former Park Hill Golf Course, released plans for how these 155 acres could be redeveloped. And we're going to show you the concept diagram right now. In it, you'll see a park, a community center, and even a grocery store. There's also areas for shopping and housing. The development process is pretty confusing, but in simple terms, before this concept plan can ever become reality, Denver City Council would have to approve a plan for how the golf course should be developed, and then the majority of Denver voters would have to vote in favor of any plans. Today we spoke with a member of the development team, and he says these ideas are in line with the city's surveying of those who live near the area.
We think that our plan reflects the recommendations in the small area plan, and we heard loud and clear that the community really prioritized parks and open space here. And so nearly 2/3 of the land will be parks and open space in our plan.
Of course, there are some who disagree with all of the planning being done by developers and the city. And today, that opposition, they released their own visions for this former Park Hill golf course. We're going to have much more on that coming up on Denver 7 News at 10. For Denver 7 News on Local 3, I'm CB Cotton.
CB, thank you. Some other headlines we're following tonight. A Colorado Springs mother has been arrested, held on $500,000 bond for the fentanyl-related death of her 4-year-old daughter. This is 4-year-old Aselin Staten Contreras. She died Wednesday at a Love's truck stop off I-25 in Fountain. 24-year-old Emma Staten was arrested in Fountain yesterday. She's charged with child abuse resulting in death and unlawful possession of a controlled substance. According to the judge in this case, a search of Staten's home turned up 45 fentanyl pills and methamphetamine.
Air Tracker 7 caught the moment. Search and rescue teams helped a missing teen out of remote wilderness in Larimer County. 14-year-old Spencer Hallman from Berthoud had been missing since yesterday at 4:30 when deputies say he wandered away from his camping ground in the Rewa Wilderness. He was found around 3 this afternoon, about 5 miles from the West Branch trailhead, and they say other than being tired and dehydrated, Spencer should be okay. Well, for more than a year, Mesa County Clerk of Courts Tina Peters has been in the spotlight for her election fraud conspiracies.
She faces felony charges for allegedly tampering with election equipment. She unsuccessfully ran for Secretary of State, which she now disputes. State laws were also changed as a result of her actions.
And in spite of all this, she will not waver on her claims. But this week, the Peters saga has sped up even more, and there is now a warrant out for her arrest.
Denver 7 political reporter Megan Lopez shows us the 6 things that unfolded.
The tale of Tina Peters is told through a paper trail that started with an online posting of Mesa County election equipment data that led to an investigation and Tina Peters' arrest. A lot has happened since then. In June, she placed second in the Republican primary for Secretary of State, something she disputes.
I'm mad as hell, and we're not going to take this anymore.
This week, she asked Secretary of State Jenna Griswold for a recount. But here's the thing about that document. It was notarized in Nevada. Colorado was even crossed out. Peters was speaking at a sheriff's conference there. She was traveling while out on bond for felony election equipment tampering charges.
Judges are usually pretty understanding and pretty accommodating. What you can't do is simply provide notice and then leave.
Peters has traveled out of state before, each time getting permission. This time, District Attorney Dan Rubenstein objected to the travel and a judge had not approved it. So Thursday, that judge revoked her bond and issued an arrest warrant. The Mesa County clerk made no secret of her travel. She sent that notarized document, posted pictures, and spoke on video at the conference.
It is extremely unusual. Someone such as Ms. Peters would be so blatant and so obvious and so reckless in violating the judge's conditions.
In a Thursday court filing, her defense team asked for the arrest warrant to be quashed, promising to show up to court and claiming it was their fault, not their clients, that she didn't know she couldn't travel, something they say the DA apparently agrees with. Meanwhile, at that Las Vegas conference, Peters claimed publicly that Congresswoman Lauren Boebert met with her and other election deniers.
Monday night, he was with me, Shrona, one of our candidates for city council, for commissioner, and Lauren Boebert.
She told the New York Times Boebert even encouraged her to go forward with the imaging of the election equipment. In a statement, Boebert's team said she did not meet with that individual who took the images, but said nothing about meeting with Peters. It also said she never encouraged images to be taken. Also this week, former Mesa County election staffer Sandra Brown was arrested for her alleged role in that equipment tampering. And in her affidavit, Conan Hayes, a former pro surfer and the founder of the RVCA clothing company, was named as the man they believe impersonated an employee to copy copy those hard drives. The tale of Tina Peters is told through a paper trail that's getting longer by the day. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
Coming up, restrictions on abortions, forcing women to travel hundreds of miles for reproductive care.
We're seeing a big influx from out of state. Primarily Texas and Oklahoma, I would say, are the most common states that patients are coming from right now.
Colorado doctors are ready to assist more women get the help they need.
We don't want to get sick. You can't ingest the water. I mean, I don't want to get sick from lakes.
Plus, while Coloradans are having fun in the sun, they might want to stay out of the water. How the hot temps are creating a health hazard in the lakes.
And we take a look at the perfect event for animal lovers, looking to give pets a forever home.